Hi, everyone, and welcome to Eagle Forum's Capitol Hill Update. My name is Tabitha Walter, and I'm the Political Director of Eagle Forum.
And I'm Kirsten Hassler, our Executive Director. This week, House Democrats have continued their mission of stripping Americans of their rights by passing two gun control bills, actually today. This has been a priority of the Biden administration. He said in February, on the anniversary of the Parkland shooting, quote, "This administration will not wait for the next mass shooting to heed that call. We will take action to end our epidemic of gun violence and make our schools and communities safer," end quote. However, these bills are being used as part of a false narrative of creating a safer space.
I'll give you a little rundown of the first bill. The first bill is H.R. 8, the Bipartisan Background Checks Act. Now, despite the word bipartisan being used in the title, it's hardly a reach across the aisle. Only 3 Republicans co-sponsored the bill compared to 207 Democrats. The language in this bill would subject every single gun transfer to a government screening process with very few exemptions. The word transfer is never defined in the bill, so this could mean anything like one person simply giving a rifle to a friend to go hunting.
The second bill, H.R. 1446, or the Enhanced Background Checks Act, increases the wait times to purchase a gun. We see this over and over with gun control legislation, and it never really solves any criminal activity. Democrats are saying that this bill would close the so-called Charleston loophole that would have prevented the Emmanuel Church shooting in South Carolina. But this is completely false. When the gunman went to purchase a gun, his background check was delayed. The gun was sold to him anyway due to human error. The FBI eventually came back and said that he should not have been able to purchase the firearm due to a previous drug charge. This bill does not address human error. It only extends the delays to 10-day increments.
You know, criminal gun activity is not a new problem. We are able to see the facts and figures of what is going on in our communities, but Democrats seem to ignore those. The Department of Justice under the Obama administration reported that 90% of guns owned by convicted criminals were either stolen or obtained through the black market. So instead of prosecuting the actual gun offenders, these bills would create more criminals out of harmless citizens.
Yeah, and Democrats, sadly, aren't going to stop at these two bills and call it a day. The policy director for March for Our Lives, Max Markham, stated, quote, "Passing this legislation is the bare minimum. It's the first step in comprehensive action," end quote. Liberal billionaires are funding organizations like Markham's, as well as sinking money into Democrat races. During the 2020 presidential campaigns, not one Democrat championed our constitutional right to bear arms, but instead made promises to enact buyback programs and federal mandates to tighten our restrictions on gun ownership.
Now, the good news is that while Democrats were threatening to take away our gun rights, firearm sales hit record highs. We've seen so many violent protests happening frequently, and crime is on the rise over the last year. It's really no surprise that people are looking for ways to protect themselves. The Firearm Industry Trade Organization reported the highest increase actually came from Black men and women, with a 58% increase. While Black voters have historically leaned Democrat, this shows that gun ownership transcends party lines and is just simply an American right.
Eagle Forum has always opposed any effort of Congress to weaken our constitutional rights. Both bills passed the House today, mostly along party lines. And if it's taken up in the Senate, we really expect a tougher fight. We want to remind you to please sign up for our legislative alerts at eagleforum.org. And if you have any questions about today's reports, please feel free to post them down below. We will be right here, or we will be back next week right here at 2 p.m. Eastern. See you then.
See ya.